Yes, what repertoire you choose has a huge impact on your musical and technical growth as a pianist. So today, I'm going to share 3 repertoire hacks that will help you grow faster as a pianist. So stick around to the end because hack number 3 is one that most pianists never do, but it completely changes the way that you learn music. All right, here's the first hack. Pick repertoire that works on multiple skills at once. A lot of pianists choose pieces that they just like listening to, and that's fine. But if you want to grow faster, be strategic. So for example, instead of learning 2 separate pieces to work lyrical playing and also work fast and arpeggiated left-hand lines, maybe strategically choose a Chopin Nocturne. Now, not all nocturnes are going to fit this bill, but one of my favorites, Opus 27 number 1 in C sharp minor, can help you learn beautiful soaring legato lines in the outer parts of the piece. And a fast, fiery, technical left hand in the middle. As opposed to Chopin's Opus 9 number 2, right? Which is a beautiful piece, and it's a favorite among a lot of students, but it's a nocturne that offers far less variety. Or if that piece is a bit too difficult for you right now, what about Kabalevsky's Fairy Tale from his Opus 27? Fairy Tale is going to work a quasi-Alberti bass. Yeah, it's going to help us learn how to create beautiful phrase with both ascending and descending lines. There's a little ascending line and a descending line. And also creating phrase with repeated pitches. Right? Plus the harmonies that Kabalevsky explores in this piece are going far outside the key. So you're going to get practice reading lots of accidentals and learning new and interesting harmonic relationships too. So the idea here is simple. If every new piece works on 3 or 4 things, your growth compounds. Compare that to someone who's only checking 1 box per piece, right? They're going to move more slowly. So when you choose a new piece, ask yourself, does it challenge my technique? And how does it do that? And does it push my musicality? And how does it do that? Does it teach me something about structure or about style? And what exactly is that? Right? If you can say yes to all those questions, and especially when you answer the how, if you can find different things that different pieces are challenging you with, then you are making smart choices. For our second hack, try rotating, contrasting styles in your repertoire. A lot of pianists accidentally fall into something like a style bubble where they may only play Chopin Nocturnes or only Bach Inventions or only movie music, etc., right? The problem, your brain and your hands adapt to a very narrow range of challenges. And when you need to or want to play music outside of that range, you hit a wall. So instead, rotate your styles. You could try something like this. So if you're working on something romantic, right, like this Chopin waltz, try adding something Baroque next. Right? If you're doing something with heavy chordal type textures, maybe like this Mendelssohn. Maybe try something that demands more clarity and articulation, like a Mozart movement or a Kuhlau movement. So. Right? And what about throwing in a contemporary piece or even a jazz standard so that we can learn more about syncopation and rhythm? Why does all this matter? Because every style trains us differently. Baroque music excels at teaching articulation and polyphony. The classical period repertoire excels at teaching balance. Romantic repertoire excels at teaching color and rubato and legato. And contemporary music, gosh, depending on the direction you go, can teach a whole variety of things, from more complex rhythms to new ideas about harmony, to maybe how to impart extreme emotion into music, emotion that we might not go quite as deeply on, especially in a Baroque style or a classical period style. So how to impart that extreme emotion into music that might be written about an extremely emotional topic or have very deep underpinnings. Now, can you learn all of these things in one piece and in one style? Yes, you can, but you're going to learn faster and more deeply when we rotate music that excels in teaching us in different ways. We're about to get to the third hack, the one that most people skip, but stick around because after I share this one, there's a little something extra to level up your playing even more. So here's the third hack. Revisit old pieces intentionally. To some of you, that might sound boring, right? You want new music, not the stuff that you've already learned, perhaps. But here's the truth. Every time that you revisit a piece after you've grown, you see things that you completely missed before. So, for example, maybe when you learned Chopin's Fourth Prelude the first time, right? Maybe you were at an early intermediate level. And back then, you may have been just trying to get the notes and the rhythms right. But now you can focus on phrasing and voicing and even subtle pedal choices. Revisiting old repertoire does two huge things. One, it deepens your interpretation because now you have greater technical freedom to shape it musically and artistically. And secondly, it reinforces your technique without the stress of all of that note learning all over again from scratch. So you can pour all your energy into sound quality and artistry, hopefully right from day one or close to it. So keep a revisit list, 5 or 6 pieces that you can cycle through every year. And that list can change pretty regularly, maybe once or twice a year. And when you play those pieces again, don't play them the same way. Approach them like you're learning them for the first time, but with the wisdom that you've gained. That's where the magic happens. Think back to my video on this channel about Burgmüller's Opus 100 and why you're never too good for Burgmüller's Opus 100. And in the comments, I heard a lot of things like, lies, that's not true. We can move past Burgmüller's Opus 100. And my challenge to you would be, do you play it like Lang Lang yet? And if you don't, there is always more that you can learn from those pieces. So why not go back and revisit them? By the way, if you want to check that video out, I will leave a link right up here in the corner. So to recap, hack number 1, pick pieces that hit multiple skills. Hack number 2, rotate contrasting styles to cross-train your musicianship. And hack number 3, revisit old repertoire to deepen your interpretation and reinforce technique. If you apply these, your growth is going to accelerate because you're practicing smarter. Now, bonus hack for those of you that have stuck around. Always have one challenge piece that you're working on. It might be way above your technical pay grade right now. Maybe you're at an intermediate level, but don't let that hold you back from trying out a Chopin etude. You don't have to learn that etude to a professional tempo. You don't have to learn it to a professional standard. You don't even have to learn the whole thing, right? But we can still learn a lot from working on it. So take a page, even if we only tackle one page of that etude. Take that page, work at it slowly, chip away, make progress, and your technique is going to grow leaps and bounds because of that challenge. If you found this video helpful, be sure and hit the like button and let me know in the comments which of these hacks are you going to try first. Or if you have your own repertoire strategies, share them in the comments below. And if you like learning more and faster, grab the 7-day free trial of Next Level Pianist Academy in the description down below. We have live practicing sessions, we have workshops, 3 workshops a month, masterclasses, a community of like-minded pianists, and so much more just waiting for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.